Hey, good morning, Beulah Church. I pray that you guys are doing well, and I pray that, that you've had a beautiful weekend, and that you get to experience just some of the amazing weather that that we had over the weekend, that we had over the course of last week. If you did get to experience some of the beautiful weather, tell me about what you did in the comments. It'd be cool to hear from that. Hear from you about that, because I definitely went out and I experienced the weather. I went for a few runs. Faith went out for her bike, went out on some bike rides. So it would be really cool to, hear about how the weather treated you and what'd you get to do. But this morning I'll be reading our devotional from the Live in Grace, Walk in Love by Bob Goff. And this is about basically walking in love rather than fear. And this seemed appropriate because it seems, I just started thinking about this morning, but it almost feels as if, we're gonna get back to normal, post vaccine, once the vaccine kind of makes its rounds all the way through. And there's almost something scary about just getting right back to normal. You know what I mean? About just like jumping right back into how life was in February of 2020. Like there's almost something like, there's almost a part of me that like wants to hold back at times and think like, wait a second, can we do this? And I'm not sure if maybe any of you guys kind of get like that just slight kind of inclination, like, oh, there's almost something that I don't want to do, or there's almost something that I would just want to hold off on. And it's not like that day would be tomorrow or even next month, but months from now, maybe Christmas time, or Thanksgiving time, or, later in the summertime, thinking about life being back to normal almost has me just slightly fearful in a way. And I'm not sure if you guys can relate. And I'm not, that thought isn't even like fully fleshed out, but I'd love to just maybe if I see you at the church this week, maybe we can talk about it. But anyway, this devotional, I found appropriate. But anyway, this is actually inspired from my favorite passage in the Gospels, and that is the passage of Jesus walking on the water and calling Peter to walk on the water as well. And so the scripture that is inspired with is Matthew chapter 14, verse 27, where it says, Jesus immediately said to them, "Take courage, it is I, don't be afraid." And Bob writes this: one of the fears common to all of us is the fear of the unknown. It's tied to other big fears, like the fear of the dark, or failure, or the fear of death. What these fears have in common is not knowing what's coming. And maybe this is definitely what I'm talking about with this. Bob just helped me. This would be what I'm talking about with what life would be like after COVID. Like we don't really know. We don't really know like what normal looks like. And so for some reason that has me slightly scared. Like there's something about that just is a little bit off-putting, is a little bit concerning in a way. And so anyway, we don't know what's coming. So for some people, uncertainty is like a day at the circus. But for others, if they don't know what's coming, they know they can't control the outcome. And the loss of control leaves them feeling helpless. Understanding the reality of our situation makes life unpredictable and reminds us how small we are. But fear only has the power we give it. You've experienced this before. The speeches we're certain will bomb end up moving the people who hear them. The relationships we fear will become stronger when we drop the act and allow people to truly see us. The stories we tell ourselves about the unknown are always worse than the future that unfolds. Can any of you guys relate to that? Like when you're scared of something that's coming and you're telling yourself, this is going to be so bad. You're telling yourself like, there's no way this could go well. This is bad scenario number one, bad scenario number two. You're telling yourself all of the bad scenarios that could possibly happen. And then you do whatever it is that you're scared of. Maybe it's speaking in front of people. For me, it was getting on a roller coaster not that long ago, with the youth group actually. And I was like, that was actually awesome, and you find that maybe you even actually liked the thing that you were scared of, or that it just wasn't that bad. There was actually really nothing to be scared of, but instead you created a scenario in your head that you were scared of. We can only move past our fears by testing them. So kind of like getting on that roller coaster for me. Like the only way I could find out if I was scared or not was to get on the roller coaster. We can be vigilant and prudent without being reckless, but you won't find out if fear is telling the truth about danger ahead unless you take a step forward. You might find out you had reason to fear, and then you can use the new information to move in a different direction. But you can't learn anything about the unknown until you walk right up to it, stare it in the eye, and say you're not listening anymore. And one of Jesus's favorite phrases was "fear not." We knew we weren't created to be anxious or stressed out. We were made to live, to engage, to remain open to the people and opportunities we encounter. Fear only has the power we give it, and Jesus said we shouldn't give it any. And this, of course, is so true in the story of Jesus walking on the water. And Peter says, Jesus, if that's really you, tell me to come. Tell me to come out to you. And Jesus has come. And Peter, he has his eyes locked on Jesus, and he takes a couple steps on the water, it says. And then as soon as he took his eyes off of Jesus and saw the huge waves, saw the storm around him, he sunk. And so Jesus is saying, don't give any power to the wind and the waves. Don't give any power to the fear that you're maybe, creating in your mind, but rather focus and lock your eyes on Jesus, and he will help you in your time of need. And so I just pray that you guys are doing well. I pray that you guys would enjoy just some more awesome weather. Hopefully this week. It's kind of cold this morning, but maybe we'll have some more beautiful weather this week, and so we'll be praying for that. And then a quick announcement, quick plug, is that we do have the Easter egg hunt coming up on March 27th. And so if you would like to help out at that, which is going to be a sort of drive-through edition, very similar to what we did for Trunk or Treat, then I would love to talk to you. And then if you are willing to help pack and bag candy and eggs, then I would love to talk to you about that too. And so anyway, I'll look forward to seeing you guys later, and have a blessed day.